Hi, Music Fundamentals and Theory of Fundamentals 101 music class. Today I'm wearing a hat because it is the Brewers home opener. So this is my Brewers hat, and you didn't want to see my hair today anyway. But today I would like to talk about chords and triads, and we're going to have four types. You're going to want to know your intervals today before you watch this video. So if you feel like you're not quite sure what a minor third or a major third, those are our main intervals for the day. Please go back and review that. You should know all the intervals, but for today, you especially need to know the difference between a major and a minor third. So go back and look at that. What I'm going to try to do is show you how to build our four chords and talk about them briefly. And then I would like to just, if I can, take this video, swing it around to the piano and play them for you and show you how to build them on the piano. So we'll get them built twice in this short video. Okay, so first of all, what is a chord? Anything more than two notes. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all those notes, any notes, that builds a chord. And sometimes two notes are called a dyad, and then more advanced students will learn later that those can imply chords, but that's for another day. So chord is anything with three or more notes. Some people will say two or more notes, but I'm going to say three. And a three-note chord, chords with three notes in it, are called triads. Triads. There we go. I flipped the letters back. So triads, T-R-A-D-S, triads. So tri for three notes. And I'm going to show you what those are. So we have chord quality, much like interval quality. It will tell us if it sounds if it sounds sad or happy or tense. That's quality. Okay? As we learned with minor seconds sounding very tense and dissonant, and maybe major thirds sounding pleasant and consonant, right? That's quality. And so we have four chord qualities we're going to worry about today. The first one is major chords. Maybe you've heard of these already. And I'm just going to show you how to build them with intervals. So we're going to build a note on the note C. And what we need is a major third with a minor third on top of it. And I'll show you what I mean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up a major third from C. And if I count half steps, I go C, C sharp, D, E flat, or D sharp to E. That's a major third. That's 4 half steps. Gives us a major third, and that lands us on E. And then we need a minor third, so E, F, F sharp, G. That's 3 half steps. That's what a major third is built out of. And so that gets us up to G. Okay, so you'll notice we have 3 notes in this chord, or triad. And then just to let you know, these outer notes are a perfect fifth apart. So you need to memorize this. For a major chord, you need a major third with a minor third on top of it, and then the outer notes will make a perfect fifth. Okay? And then you also need to know the names of these notes. Okay? And all of the triads we have, these names will be consistent. So this bottom note here is called the root, and that's the one that gives us the name of the chord. So this is C major. The root is C. This second note here is a third. It's called a third because it's a third above the root. Okay? And then maybe you've already guessed that because this note is a fifth above the root, this is called a fifth. So we have a root, a third, and a fifth in all triads. All triads will have these. And I don't want to give the impression that all chords will stay like this. We can move these around. I can put the third in the bottom. I can put the fifth in the bottom. I can add more notes. I could say, oh, here's another C and an E and a G. And because these are all the same notes as these down here, it doesn't change the chord. Okay? So just understand that. So if you play the piano or guitar or some other chord instrument, you can move these all the way around, up and down, and it'll all be a triad as long as you're playing these 3 notes. Okay? Or the 3 notes of any triad. So to review, The note that gives it the name is a root. The note a third above that is called the third, and the note a fifth above that one, above the root, excuse me, is called the fifth. So we have a root, a third, and a fifth. And in this major triad, let me get rid of some of this stuff, we have a major third, and then from the major third note, the E here is a minor third, and that makes our outer notes, so root to the fifth, a perfect fifth in a major chord. Okay? So that's a major triad. So I'll put that over here. We've got major. Now I want to do a minor triad. And a minor triad, we'll do C, is a minor third, little m, big 3, with a major third. So the opposite of a major triad. Instead of a major third and then a minor third, this time it's a minor third with a major third. You follow? I hope. Okay, so C up to E. So C up to E flat, excuse me, would be the minor third. And then because I've lowered this E from the major chord to E flat, that shrinks the interval from the root to the third, if you follow, and then that makes the interval between the third and the fifth 1/2 step bigger. So I don't have to change the fifth. So a minor triad is a minor third with a major third on top, and there's still a perfect fifth out here. And we still have root, third, fifth. And we would use that same language for all 4 triad types or qualities. Okay, I'm going to play all these for you in a second. Okay, so that's the minor chord. Then what I want to do is, I'll leave all of this here because it's going to be handy. And we're going to do, so we've already done major, we've already done minor. Now I want to do a chord called a diminished chord. D-I-M-inished, diminished. And my only change is I still need this minor third, okay? And then I'm going to put another minor third on top of that, okay? And so this time I do need to change the fifth. So 2 stacked minor thirds makes a diminished chord. And this is a cool chord because I can keep stacking minor thirds and it sounds really neat. I'll show you in a sec. Okay, so a diminished chord is a minor third from the root to the third and another minor third from the third to the fifth. And then what we get on the outer, since we've lowered this note, which used to be a perfect fifth, now we get the diminished fifth. If you remember this from my interval lecture or any of the interval videos you might have watched, you should know what a diminished fifth is. It's just 1 note smaller than a perfect fifth, okay? And that's the weird one where we could have spelled it as an augmented fourth or a diminished fifth. If you're not sure what I mean, go back and take a look. I don't have time to get into that now, okay? So we have 2 minor thirds and then a diminished fifth sort of are all of the intervals involved in this triad, okay? All right, so I'm going to get rid of this, and we've done a diminished. So we've done major, minor, and diminished. And the last one we have is an augmented triad. Augmented. Oh, too many letters, Josh. That's better. Okay, augmented. And augmented means to make bigger, and diminished means to make smaller. So you might guess that instead of a stack of minor thirds, I need 2 major thirds. So C up to E, as we've established, is a major third. But then E up to G, we saw was a minor third, so we need 1 bigger than that. So if I go E, F, F sharp, G is a minor third, I need G sharp to make it a major third. So an augmented triad is 2 major thirds stacked on top of each other. And here's going to be, and then the outer interval is weird. Here's where it gets kind of weird. And this is the only time we're going to deal with this weirdness. This is actually an augmented fifth. Okay, I told you last week we weren't really going to deal with any other augmented intervals besides the augmented fourth. I lied a little bit. So here's the only case the only exception to that. Okay, is this augmented fifth between the root and the fifth of an augmented triad. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, you could watch this video again or go hear it in someone else's voice and listen to a different video and see if that helps. Or you can shoot me an email or stop by my office and I'll show you. Okay, I'm gonna see. I think I'm gonna make another video for the aural part of this so you can see it on piano and hear it. Okay. Um, and that will wrap us up for today. So what we covered were chords and triads specifically. And we had 4 different chord qualities: major, minor, diminished, and augmented. All right, I'll see you in the next video.